These talks are brought to you by Claritax Books and are proudly sponsored by Six Forward Capital Allowances.
Welcome back to our series of talks on capital allowances. Today I'm going to take a look at the role of the specialist capital allowances surveyor. The surveyor obviously needs to know how to identify fixtures in property and how to value both those fixtures and the property itself. But he or she also needs a detailed understanding of the tax rules to ensure that the valuations are set in their proper statutory context. There is frankly a huge range in the level of knowledge and expertise of the niche capital allowances firms. Some have a proper in-depth understanding of the tax angles as well as the necessary specialist valuation skills. There's no regulation in this area though, and some self-styled experts actually have a frighteningly poor understanding of the complex tax rules, so it is crucial for a business to find the right advisors. The approach to a capital allowances claim depends on the nature of the project. For a newly built property, there may be tender documents with full post-build reconciliations, in which case the actual costs incurred can be analysed in depth with a proper allocation of professional fees and overhead costs. Even for a new building though, it may be that for a variety of reasons, no adequate breakdown is available of the costs incurred. In this case, the surveyor's valuation experience is needed to calculate the appropriate figures. This will involve a site visit, allowing the surveyor to identify and record the different elements for which valuations are required. A calculation of cost can then be made, typically using one of the SPONS guides to value the fixtures in the context of the overall project. Where necessary, current figures can be indexed back, not with RPI but with specialist building price indices, to ensure that the end result will stand up to HMRC scrutiny if challenged. Different issues arise if a used property is bought, and we've examined the questions of fixtures elections and apportionments in earlier talks. As we've seen, an apportionment requires a valuation of three elements: the fixtures in the property, the rest of the property, and the land on which it stands. These figures must be established as at the date of purchase, which may be many years before the exercise is carried out. Typically, the surveyor will be working with little or no historic information regarding the property, so a thorough survey will be needed. The property will have to be measured, as costs per square metre will form part of the calculation, and particular attention will be paid to mechanical and electrical installations, as these will form a core part of the eventual claim. Reconstruction costs will be computed, taking account of the location of the property and the date on which it was built. Although no capital allowances are available for the cost of land, we've seen in recent talks that the apportionment formula needs to include a land valuation, and again this must be as at the time the property was acquired. Different methods are available for valuing land, but the comparative method is typically used, whereby similar land transactions are identified and any variable factors are adjusted as necessary. Again, it's essential to ensure that the claim can stand up to scrutiny, so in appropriate cases, the resulting valuation may need to be supported by means of residual calculations and/or by reference to the Valuation Office's Property Market Report. So that's a very quick overview of the role of the specialist surveyor, a role that should complement the accountant's handling of the broader tax issues for any given property transaction. From next week, we'll have a change of direction as we start to look at another important topic, the meaning of plant as it has developed over more than a century of case law. Thank you for watching. I'm Ray Chidell, author of Capital Allowances and of the A to Z of Plant and Machinery from Claritax Books. This talk was sponsored by Six Forward an independent property tax consultancy working with accountants to enhance capital allowances for their clients.